I have been asked to make a video about how to get rid of unnecessary guilt and shame. There are very few emotions more unpleasant than guilt and shame, because they don't only make us feel bad about ourselves, but what they do, they also stop us from fully expressing ourselves. This is a very delicate and complex subject, because guilt and shame are very closely related to innermost beliefs, inner rules, society rules, moral rules, ethic rules, cultural rules, and so on and so forth. Of course, as always, this is only my opinion based on my experiences and my knowledge. I personally think that guilt could be useful, because guilt is that feeling that arises when we realize we have done something we wish we didn't do, and that could be an incentive not to do that again. I'll give an example. We have not watered the plant that we have in our living room, and it dies. Now, when we realize that the plant has died, we may be telling ourselves, I'm responsible for it. And we may feel guilty. That feeling could motivate us not to do that again in the future. We may then realize, and we may then remember to water the plants when we get another one. Now, as far as shame is concerned, I personally don't think is that useful, because while guilt is normally associated with doing something, with something we have actually done, shame is associated with our inner sense of worth and value. It's normally always based upon our perception of how other people may perceive us and judge us accordingly, based on who we are, what we're doing, or what we are not doing. So shame is always a product of a judgment that we have about a judgment that other people may have about us. So it's always a projection. It's not based on actual facts. That is because when we were growing up, most probably this is how our caretaker were talking to us. They were probably telling us, it's not important what you like and what you don't like. I don't care what you feel in this situation. This is right and you must do it. This is wrong and you must not do it. If you don't do what is right, you are gonna be punished. And you are not worth of my love. You are not lovable. And if you do what you shouldn't be doing, you should feel ashamed. If you want to be loved and appreciated, you must do what I tell you to do. So we internalized all that. I bet very, very, very few people were told this. Listen, I love you unconditionally. You are perfect as you are. Although, think about this. If you behave in this way, the consequences will be of a certain kind. If you behave in another way, the consequences will be of this kind. So think very carefully about what you choose to do. Can you see the difference? This is a very evolved way of educating somebody. The message that we were given growing up, it was that it's not important the way we are feeling. What is important is that we know what is right and we know what is wrong. But that created conflict, because we were feeling like doing something, but we were not allowed. And we couldn't do it because when we were kids, we needed to be nourished. We really needed to be loved. When we are adults, it's a different story. When we're adults, we don't need other people to get nourishment. We don't need other people to love us. I mean, we may want other people to appreciate us, yes, but we can be the primary source of love for ourselves. And to be loving towards ourselves, we have to honor what we truly feel inside about something. So this is what I invite you to do. If you feel ashamed or something that you are thinking or not thinking, doing or not doing, first ask yourself, what am I ashamed of? Then ask yourself, what I am being or not being, saying or not saying, thinking or not thinking, doing or not doing, is it really, and I mean really, damaging someone else or me or something? Or am I only damaging someone else's expectations? Am I afraid of someone else's judgment about me? Or my judgment that I have acquired from someone else? And then, if you see that you're not actually damaging anyone or anything, and it is only the product of your judgment about it, or the fear of somebody else's judgment about this particular thing, your shame, the invitation is to go ahead and do it. Do it. Honor your feeling and do it. Something else I invite you to do is this. Every time you are faced with a choice, normally the first thing that springs to your mind, the first thing that we ask ourselves, consciously or unconsciously, is this choice that I might be making right or wrong? I invite you to put that aside and ask yourself this question: how am I feeling about this? Do I like this or do I don't like this? How do I feel about this choice? How do I feel about that choice? And then again, if your choice or what you feel like doing or not doing is not damaging anyone else, and it's only not fulfilling somebody else's expectations, be brave and do it. Do it and see what happens. Because normally we are caught into this vicious cycle, which is we feel like doing something, but the right thing is to be doing something else, something that is expected from us. So we do what is expected from us, and then we still feel bad. Because although we did the right thing, we don't feel good about it, because the right thing was not what resonated with our innermost truth. So try and follow, again, watch this space. If it doesn't damage you or anyone else or anything else, go ahead and honor your inner feeling and see what's happening. And that creates a virtuous cycle. And then you will be empowering yourself. And then you'll experience that your shame was only the product of your judgments about yourself. And that's how you free yourself. Again, this is a process you go through. It's not so easy and it's not so black and white. Although, as everything else, try it. Just try it. You won't know it until you try it. If you haven't done it yet, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, why not leaving a like, sharing it, and of course, you can leave a comment.